and welcome to Ducks No Sports. This week, it's my sixth installment of my baseball previews as I preview the National League West. National League West, interesting division. Not the most competitive division out there, but a very interesting division with some World Series capable teams. Okay, we'll start with the West champs last year, the Arizona Diamondbacks, who last year found lightning in a bottle, so to speak, with first-year manager Kirk Gibson. Did a great job there. And just brought a lot of cast-offs off and did a very good job. You know, made the playoffs, didn't do much. Cast-offs like Aaron Hill and John McDonald from the Jays did a really good job there. You know, this year you look at the roster, they're going to find lightning ball again because you look at the roster, I mean, unless guys like Upton or Steven Drew or Aaron Hill, you know, these guys have to step their games up for them to compete, you know, repeat as champions because as soon as they know you're good, they're going to come and play you good. And I just, looking at this roster, there's not much there. The rotation's kind of weak. The bullpen's not through there. And there's, besides a few players like Upton and Steven Drew, not really much there. And I just don't see how this teams really can compete with like the San Frans and the Dodgers of the world. And I think the Diamondbacks do not get lightning in ball again and have a bad season and do not make the playoffs. Okay, moving to the San Francisco Giants, who had a very disappointing year last year after winning the World Series the year before. You know, their star rookie from the year before, Buster Posey, broke his leg in that ugly collision. Looks like he'll be ready to go for the season, which is good. Real exciting player play. And you look at this roster, man. This is a team that could compete for a World Series. I mean, Tim Lincecum, man, he's my favorite pitcher to see pitch because every time I see him pitch, I feel like it could be the last time seeing him pitch because the way he throws, you never know. He can blow his arm anytime. But a very deep rotation, a very good team with a lot of good players on this roster. I mean, and they have one of the best closers in the business in Brian Wilson. Very good closer, great character guy. I mean, a very, very good team. And they won the World Series 2 years ago. And I'm thinking they might be a dark horse in the World Series this year. I mean, with that pitching, as long as you have pitching, you can win. And they are stacked to the rotation. They have a great bullpen. They don't have the best hitters in the world, but their hitting gets enough done to back up that rotation. And I think with the right amount of hitting, with that rotation, the Giants could be a serious contender for the World Series this year. Moving to the Los Angeles Dodgers. When you talk about the Dodgers, should I talk about their season coming up or the sale? Because it seems like everybody wants to talk about the sale with the Dodgers, you know. Most historic franchise in all sports, Los Angeles Dodgers being sold, a lot of big names, but I'm not going to talk about that because this is a baseball preview. But moving to the Dodgers, though, they have a good young team here. You know, guys like Clayton Kershaw, who might be one of the best pitchers in baseball. Clayton Kershaw, great arm, is going to be their horse rotation for years to come. Eats up innings, has all the pitches you want. Very, very good player. And though they have a lot of good hitters too, like Loney, good first baseman, and very underrated first baseman. Can do it on both sides, you know, very good hitter, but also very good defender too. And of course, a guy you got to talk about the Dodgers. You got to talk about a guy in Matt Kemp, who's probably become one of the best players in baseball. In my opinion, should have been the MVP last year. I know his team was nowhere near the playoffs, but you know, Matt Kemp, you know, just a beast guy, and I would just love to see Matt Kemp. Matt Kemp is one of the best players in baseball. Matt Kemp could carry this team to the playoffs. And this is a very good bullpen, too. Very good, not the greatest bullpen, but an okay bullpen. But this team, the Los Angeles Dodgers, will compete with the Giants this year for that division. Because the Dodgers are one of those dark kind of teams in the wins right now. And who knows about them. But they are a very, very good team. Moving to the Colorado Rockies. You know, not much to say about the Rockies anymore. I mean, they used to be kind of a surprising team a couple years ago when they went to the World Series, but since that hasn't really done much. And a lot of these young players that had back then are now getting older, and you know they're just kind of not much to say here. I don't think like this roster. You know, they have a few good players, but nothing really too special. I think the Colorado Rockies got a bad year. They have nobody in their rotation. Their bullpen's not that good. A few good players here and there, but they'll score runs and everything. I still think they'll score runs, but I just think their rotation's that bad. I think the Rockies are going to have a bad year. Okay, and finally, the San Diego Padres. You know, it's obvious with Heath Bell leaving in the offseason and Latos being traded to the Reds, that the Padres have started the rebuild process here. I mean, there's going to be a few bad years in San Diego. You got to start drafting better, which I think they'll do. You know, very underrated GM they have there. But, you know, I think the Padres, you know, rebuild. Not much to say here. I mean, they're going to have a bad year. And I think the Padres, come this time next year, will be better than they are this year. But I think the Padres have a bad year. But I think if they start drafting well, take all the prospects, they got the Latos deal, and start trading off some of these other veterans they have for more prospects, maybe 5 years, it'll be a contender again. But in this division, it won't be tough to become a contender again because the division's not that good. But it'll take a good 3-5 years for this team to get back on track. But as far as 2012, the San Diego Padres finished last in the AL West again. But when it's all said and done, I like the San Francisco Giants to win the West. Dodgers come a close second, but I think the Giants are a very, very good team, a World Series capable team with Flint Lincecum and all their great young hitters, Posey, and their great bullpen led by Brian Wilson. I really believe in the Giants this year, and I think the Giants run away with this division and have a shot at the World Series. Alright, that's it for this preview, but my last installment of baseball previews will be my preview of all the awards. I'm going to give you my MVPs, you know, my Rookies of the Year, my Cy Youngs, my World Series picks, what teams are going to make the playoffs. Very interesting because extra spots been added to the playoffs here, so an extra team. So instead of 4 teams, there's going to be 5 teams. Very interesting. So stay tuned for that. Well, that's it for this week. But until next time, I'm your Ducks Racing. I'm Ducks, and I know sports. Kind of.